What is the most precious thing in life?
Not only the most precious thing in life, but the only precious thing in life is consciousness. Because when the consciousness is no longer functioning in the body, everything is dead, everything disappears, nothing remains. You are just a rotten corpse after that. So, the presence of consciousness is needed to experience anything, to know anything, to feel anything, to think anything, to touch anything, to smell anything. Once the consciousness is not there, once it has left body, all these things will disappear. No one will be ready to keep you even for one day in his house. You will be so rotten. You will be so terrible. You will smell so bad. Not even those who are your beloved. They will be in hurry either to burn it or to bury it. So if you are missing this consciousness, if you are not aware of the presence of this consciousness, you have missed this life, this opportunity. You may be a millionaire or billionaire or trillionaire. You may be Einstein or Newton. You may be the greatest artist. But if you are not awake to the presence of this consciousness, consciousness is there functioning even in animals, even in trees, in different ways, even in human being. But if you are not present to its presence, if you are forgetful of it, if you are not remembering it, then your life is not significant. Then you are like a beggar sitting on the top of a great treasure of diamonds and silvers and gold, but totally unaware of the treasure which is just below where he is sitting. And he is begging for small amount of money, wearing tattered clothes, being totally a skeleton, and the treasure is just below him. But it needs some digging, because you have got identified with so many things which you are not. That's why the consciousness is clouded. It is like the diamond gone into mud. Now you need to find it out. Wash it and make it clean. Or the mirror is full of dust, so it cannot reflect anything. Or the sun is hiding behind the cloud, dark cloud. And these clouds are created by your own emotions, your feeling, your mood, your desires, your lust, your greed, your anger. So if you are not aware of this, aware of the presence of this consciousness, the inner light, then your life is in darkness. You are like a football being kicked from one direction to another, a slave of your destiny. So, if you are living your life remembering this consciousness all the time, if you are aware of this consciousness, then the inner light is always present in your life. Otherwise, you are living in a clouded state. You can equate this consciousness as the infinite ocean. And if you are not aware of this consciousness, then you are living according to different kind of waves, bubble, tide, storms. Currents. These are your inner state. When you are living according to your thinking, your thoughts, your emotions, your feeling, your mood, your anger, your desire, your lust, your greed, you are living in accordance with these waves, these bubbles, which are here for a while and then they disappear. And then your life is in trouble. Your life is miserable and full of suffering. But if you are aware of this consciousness, then you are living according to the infinite ocean. And then your life will be harmonious. So a life lived without being aware of this consciousness is no life at all. It is a life without any driver. So when your car is without driver, the accident is bound to happen. Car is going at full speed, but there is no driver or there is no brake. When the consciousness is present, whatever you will be doing will have a grace, will have a beauty. Then the master is present. Otherwise, you are living according to different slaves. It is like a story, a Sufi story, where the master has left the house for a pilgrimage. And he had many servants. So he asked that you take care of my palace as long as I am not here. So one of the servant will be always sitting on the gate as a watchman. So anyone who will come to see the house, they will, or pass from near the house, they will ask to whom this house belongs. So they will claim, anyone who was sitting on the gate, they will say it is my house. One day they got the news that the master is coming back. Now they all became disciplined. They realized that they are only servants, they are not the masters. So without the presence of this master, this consciousness, your inner house will be in chaos. You are not the controller, the master of your life. The driver is absent in the car. You don't know why you are doing what you are doing. You don't know why you are going where you are going. So this is the only precious thing or the most precious thing in life. All other things are trivial. Without being aware of this consciousness, your life is just like a dream. It has no value. And once you are aware of this consciousness, then your life becomes invaluable. You have realized the purpose of life if there is any purpose. You have realized the meaning of life if there is any meaning in life. You have realized the poetry of life if there is any poetry in life. So, the first thing is to become aware of this consciousness. And we are lost in dense forest of darkness because the inner light is absent, and we have been conditioned and programmed so strongly by society, by schools and colleges, by our parents, not only in this life, in many lives, in this impersonal journey of the consciousness, that we have become just like a robot, a programmed computer. So, and you will not get any help from outside, from your schools and colleges, your teachers, in knowing yourself. They will create all the hindrance which they can. So you will have to make the effort, and only a man who has come to know himself, who has become aware of the presence of this consciousness, can show you the way. But then also you will have to travel. It cannot be given to you by anyone. You have to deserve it. And only when you have made all the effort to know it, and you have stumbled upon it, then it becomes precious. You have been given this consciousness, but we have lost this paradise. This is like paradise lost of the Milton. Because you have eaten the fruit of knowledge. So your innocence is lost. So now you are driven out of this paradise. It is not knowing, it is borrowed knowledge, it is information which is making you egoistic. And this ego is the dark night of the soul. This ego is your inner darkness, your inner hell. That's why you feel this separation. And when you feel you are separate from all other things, from the whole existence, then you will remain always insecure, you will remain always tense, you will want to fight all the time. You will think everyone else is an enemy. So when this consciousness is not present, you cannot hear music, you cannot smell, beautiful fragrance of the flower. You cannot see the beautiful world. Your eyes are totally important without the presence of this consciousness. Or whatever you are able to see, whatever you are able to hear, it is because of the presence of this consciousness. You will not be able to touch anyone. You will not be able to experience the pleasure of sex, the taste of any tasty food. You cannot appreciate any music. You cannot appreciate dance. You cannot even think. You cannot create anything. You cannot become a philosopher. You cannot become a scientist. So prior to everything else is this consciousness. And without knowing this consciousness, you are not worth being called a human being. So the first thing that has to be done is to give all your attention, all your energy towards knowing yourself. Socrates, know thyself first. Physician, heal thyself first. Be your own light. Then only your life will have significance. then your life will become precious. Then your life will become peaceful, serene, calm, ecstatic, blissful. Satchit Anand, Satyam Sivam Sundaram. Is it all right?
It's beyond alright, Swami. It's beyond alright, Swami.
I told you, I said that without being conscious, your life is just like a dream stuff. So, just to understand it, what happens when you are dreaming?
Happens when I'm greedy or when I'm dreaming.
When you are dreaming,
A lot of mistakes will be made, no, Swami. You fall into ditches.
while you are dreaming, your consciousness is in a semi-awake state. You are in a subconscious state. Your consciousness is as if it is on alcohol. It has become drugged. Or it is not awake because it is not awake. So whatever happens in dream has no logic and no rhyme. You are seeing a horse and suddenly it turns into a donkey. Whatever you are doing in dream, it's all like a very confused state. In dream, it is 2 plus 2 is never 4. 2 plus 2 can be 3, 2 plus 2 may be 5, 2 plus 2 can be 10. You are walking on the street, then suddenly you are flying. You are here and then suddenly you are in New York. So, why it happens? If the consciousness was awake in the dream, then these things could not have happened. Because consciousness is in a kind of drug state. It is about to sleep. So all these things are possible. Otherwise, if consciousness is totally present, awake, then horse cannot turn into a donkey. And you cannot be walking and then suddenly you are flying. You are here and then suddenly you are in New York. These things cannot happen. Because when consciousness is absent, everything will be chaotic. There will be no harmony. So this is the only difference. In dream, you are less awake than your so-called awake state. But the same thing happens when you are enlightened, when you are awake. In comparison to enlightenment, your so-called awake state is also like a dream state. So that's why you go on colliding everywhere. You go on falling in ditches. You go on suffering. You go on creating hell out of any relationship. You can commit any crime and then you will think that how it happened. It happened in spite of you. You can be drugged, you can be on alcohol, and then you can rape. Then later on you will repent. What? Even ordinary people, they repent all the time. They don't want to be angry, but when anger comes, then it is out of their control. And then later on they will repent, they will feel guilty. So, in comparison to the awake state, your so-called waking state is also like a dream. So no sane person will like to live his life in a dreamy way. Because when you are in a dream, you are on an aeroplane without any pilot. And we talk so much about love. Love is God, God is love. Without being conscious, you cannot be loving. That is also not possible. What you call love, what happens in the name of love is all lust. What you call love is only biological compulsion. You are possessed by your emotions. And your love can turn any moment into hate, into anger, into jealousy, into violence, into possessiveness. This is not real love. If you are in search of real love, what Jesus called God is love, or what Osho says, love is God, then you will have to become conscious. Otherwise, whatever goes on in the name of love is something else. So love is the most corrupted word. Someone can say, I love ice cream. Someone can say, I love my car. This is not love. You are infatuated. You are possessed by it. So, it's clear now?
Yes, very clear, Swami.
It seemed as if Mara had been defeated, but in fact, he had not yet given up the battle. Now he attacked again.
You who go where no one else will dare. Will you be my god, architect? Finally I have met you. You will not rebuild your house again. But I am your house. And you live in me. O Lord of my own ego. You are pure illusion. You do not exist. The earth is my witness.